All right, friends, welcome back to the channel. Another beautiful day outside. It's gorgeous today, actually, which I'm really surprised about. Just got done making us some breakfast. I just threw it on a paper plate because I knew that I was going to be out here, and I honestly just didn't feel like cleaning any dishes today. What we got is some papaya, some arugula, and some beautiful fresh eggs from my local farm store or feed store. So I'm really excited about that. They have lovely people up there that are getting these eggs. It's great. I love it. You got to start your day off right. Now, I want to tell you guys something I don't think I've shared before. Papaya is coming into season. I've been trying to get as many papayas as I can. The squirrels have definitely been attacking my papayas. So that's been really rough. I'm hoping this morning that we can avoid some squirrels because I'm hoping to be able to maybe trap them or something and relocate them or whatever we need to do, because I need to get to my papaya. Did you know that you could take papaya seeds and dry them out and you can grind them like pepper? So look that up. It's in case you ever need to know, or you'd like to try something natural. I do actually have a peppercorn plant. That's a good papaya. It hasn't produced any peppercorns, but in fairness, I don't really take care of it as well as I could. That peppercorn plant actually grows over here on the corner of my porch. I can show you guys, but right now there's all the crows. Remember I was telling you guys that a bunch of birds ate my grapes? That's the crows, I'm pretty sure, that ate my grapes, and they're coming back because I've got more grapes on the plant, on the vine, and they're really starting to like get ready, and I'm like, I think they're just watching me. It's like the crows, they're just watching me, waiting to see when they can attack the grapes again. So hopefully I'll catch them before the crows do. But we got a couple of things that we need to get done today. I got a papaya that I gotta go pick here in a little bit. Hopefully it wasn't attacked overnight. But I ordered some plants from Wellspring Gardens. And I have never grown these plants before, so we're gonna give it a try. My bananas did end up dying, the ones I ordered from Etsy, so unfortunately my brother and I will not be having any red bananas. But the reason why I was looking at Wellspring is because I saw that they had some Cuban bananas, and they are red, and so I was thinking about ordering them. Now they can get fairly tall, and so I really love my dwarf bananas because they're more easily accessible for not only myself but the kids. And so I want the kids to really be involved with growing. I think it's important, and plus the older I get, I don't want a bunch of bananas that I'm having to climb up a ladder to try to obtain. Now that could potentially mean more bananas, because usually the bigger the plant, in all honesty, has been for me, the more bananas that actually produce from the plant itself. But I've noticed, I'm telling you, I'm down with these dwarf Cavendish bananas. They're on. I mean, they are doing great. So like I said before, I think I'm really just gonna start planting those everywhere. I was watching this video. My fiance is always saying, like, because I talk to our A machine, if y'all know what I'm talking about, and I'm like, I have her set alarms and all this stuff, and he's like, you always gotta thank her. You gotta thank her, because if you don't, the AI overlords are gonna get you one day for not being kind to them. And I'm like, yeah. So I was thinking, and I was watching this movie, and it was talking about basically like this documentary kind of thing, and it was basically like predicting the future and saying in like 2030, like it's all gonna go down, right? So I was thinking, man, like we're in 2025, so if it goes down in like 2030, that's not a lot of time to get prepared for whatever could happen. And like I showed y'all not that long ago, I mean, we have military vehicles that are present in areas that have not been present before. I think that's a fair statement. And so, you know, it does make you think, like, what is going on? What are you up to now? So you got to be prepared. That's the point. I've always encouraged that. I've always said that. And I want you all to really be thinking about those things if possible. A lot of people are like, one of my friends was like, oh, I'm just going to hunt because I'm in, you know, Tennessee or whatever. And I'm just like, bro, you and 10 million other people are going to go hunting. Like, come on. Like, come on. At some point, everything will be wiped out because it won't be sustainable. Like, you've got to think about how to take care of yourself in a different way. So with that being said, let's just get right into the plants that I have purchased. So I'm going to go over and I'm going to show you guys what I've done. I have my fiance and I told y'all that bed that was kind of rickety, that had the pineapples on the other side of it. We have gone ahead and cleaned that out. Now, it had some calla lilies in that bed. Those calla lilies had edible, like, tubers on the bottom that you could actually eat. You can clean them up and, like, kind of fry them almost like a watercress or something like that. Like, they have this really, like, kind of crunchiness to them. Some people say it's more potato-y. Not for me. But anyway, if I can remember the name of those calla lilies, I'll put it up for you. I've got them growing throughout the yard, so if worst case scenario, they are popped up over on kind of towards the lake area, and so they're doing fine. So I've hopefully ripped all those out because they have the way they grow, they kind of spread, so they will go crazy in your yard. But I have gone ahead, and the first thing I wanted to show you guys, which I didn't realize had thorns, so if you're interested in this, please know that it has thorns. This is a Sherbet Berry. So I have never grown this before. I do have Freedom blackberries over in that corner. They do really well. This Sherbet Berry is, it's really supposed to taste a lot like sherbet. So hopefully it does. I don't know. I'm kind of interested in it. It is a very well taken care of plant. There are no diseases, no issues. Like I said, I got this tree over here in the corner that it's just producing flowers, and it was supposed to be like a chocolate custard plant. And that's what I'm saying. Sometimes when you order from Etsy, while it may say one thing, you could potentially end up getting something else. And of course, that could happen at any nursery or anywhere else, but keep that in mind. So we are going to be planting today this Sherbet Berry. Now, I was considering putting the Sherbet Berry in a different area because I really wanted to utilize that area over there where the pineapples are for additional pineapples, because they seem to just be doing very well over there. With that being said, I really have kind of stepped back from that idea, and because my berries grow really well, I'm also considering there's a little bit of space there. I hope it's not going to get overshadowed, and I'm going to put that plant there. So I'll take you guys over there. I'm going to show you that. The other thing that I wanted to get is this is a Soursop plant. Now, do your research on these plants and see if it's something that you're interested in. Now, Soursop has a lot of beneficial properties, and so I actually need to get, I'm going to start growing it in a container because we are going into our fall months, and should it get really nippy, this is a small plant, and I don't want this plant to actually suffer during the fall. You know, plants aren't necessarily a cheap purchase, but they're a valuable investment as far as I'm concerned. Soursop leaves can potentially treat diseases and cancers, and so kind of rid your body of gunk. I think that that's really an amazing little plant. The other thing that I have, it's called a Yerba Mate, and that's Y-E-R-B-A Mate. Here it is. It is a plant that I've actually never heard of until very recently, like in the last couple of weeks. My fiance, he drinks a lot of things with caffeine in it. Now, y'all know that I make a lot of tea. So I was making him some tea, and he had said, you know, he loves his tea, and he had said, hey, I wish I had some tea that had some like caffeine in it. I sometimes I'd like a little boost. And so I had said to him, you know, let me look into this. There's got to be something out there that we can grow here in zone 9B, pushing that zone 10. and that you can, you know, I can get some leaves off of it, some fruit or something that's going to give you a little bit of boost, a little bit of energy. He works really hard. He has a very, in my opinion, he has quite a stressful position that he's in at work. And, you know, life in general these days, a lot of people are under stress. Now this plant is actually quite a tree. It's a bush. Let's put it that way. It's a bush. And so it does get very bushy, supposedly. But look at the gorgeous color. Look at that red color on the vine. I don't know if you guys can, there, maybe you can see it now that my pink shirt's not in there. But look at the color. I think that that's just absolutely gorgeous. I love it. And I'm hoping to be able to propagate this plant and continue to grow it. This is like I said, this is a very new plant for me. I know very little about this plant. But I've done enough research that I am interested in it, so we're gonna start growing it together. All right, I'm gonna eat my breakfast. Oh, I forgot, I've got them all over here on the table. We're still bringing in tons of key lime. So at this point, what I'm doing with the key limes is, because I've had enough personally, and so I want to be able to kind of preserve some of these key limes. So what I'm going to end up doing is I've got some little trays, and I'm now going to start freezing the juice so that over the holidays and stuff that we can actually have some beautiful key limes. These are really good too. My fiance has been very under the weather, very sick. COVID is going around his office, and so these alkaline the body, and so in the fall having a little bit of citrus in your life is really, really, really important. And so I want to go ahead and preserve that juice, put it in the freezer, and then take it out in ice cubes. And then if need be, I make him that hydration drink. I just drop an ice cube in it, pour the hot water over it, add my little bit of honey and some salt, and really make something that's delicious for him or I if need be. I've been doing really well, so knock on wood. Don't forget to be doing your garlic ginger. Because that garlic ginger really needs to sit for at least 3 to 6 months, in my opinion. I have some garlic ginger that I've been eating on, and it's crystallized. It looks like candy. It's absolutely delicious and wonderful. I'll just take it out, pop one in, and thankfully I've not really gotten sick so far. All right, so I'm gonna end up taking you guys over here in a second after I finish eating my breakfast, and we are gonna get some stuff planted. All right, friends, so we are over here in the new little space that I've got all cleaned up, and I'm looking up, and I literally, these squirrels and stuff, man, I can't deal with them anymore. Look what they've done. Right there's a hole in my papaya. Stupid little jerks. You can eat green papaya, but it's not what I really prefer. You can make a green papaya salad, but not for me. But anyway, moving on. All right, so here's what I've done. I don't know if this is really like the best, you know, sometimes I just do things and see if it works. So I just brought this compost out here. I'm gonna turn it under. It's gonna take a while for this compost to actually break down. Over here, you can see that the yard looks real ratty and trashy because this is where I cleaned it all up. Those are those calla lilies. There's Miss Tiffany over there hanging out. She's enjoying some say-so spinach or Brazilian spinach. And so what I've done here is I have cleaned out this bed, and then right over here I have kind of put one of our arches over here, and I have been weaving in the Freedom Blackberry. You got to be careful. I'm like really trying to be very cautious. See, this thing will get out of control. That thing has grown so much since I've cleaned this area up. So you gotta like be gentle, but weave it in so that it can get growing. Well, I'll deal with that later. But anyway, maybe I'll put that up here. That's the fun thing about gardening, is you just never know how you want stuff to go. But I have this like fence back here, this little fence post, and we were thinking about tacking it in to kind of help the blackberry grow. I think I'm just going to keep weaving it for now. Really, I should probably do something that's a little more sturdier. There's Miss Pumpkin. Who knows what she's actually eating. Look at the papaya. Now, I want to show you guys something. This papaya, I pulled, this is where I had pulled my, papaya, good lord, pineapple. I pulled my pineapple out of here, and look, it's got an offshoot. So there's going to be a smaller pineapple that's actually going to come up off this offshoot. So I think that that's really awesome. Now, it's not going to be as big as the other ones, but you know what? Fruit is fruit, and I am excited and happy for that. So, all right, so here's what I'm thinking. I think over here in this corner is where I'm going to put the sherbet berry. So that way I can keep the Freedom Blackberry separated from my sherbet berry. And I need to get some type of little arch or something that I can actually let it grow up on. Now back here I have my ferns. Remember, I was telling you guys, you do your own research, but you can eat the bottom of ferns. They taste like a little potato. Punky, what? Oh, you're eating eggshells. You're eating an eggshell. Well, good thing I washed those eggshells so there's no salmonella on them. All right, there's Miss Luna. Little cutie. So what I wanted to do, I wanted to keep all the pineapples here. So like you see all the pineapples are growing in here. I got to get in here and weeding is a big deal. I've told my nephews, I bought my nephew an amp. I asked my nephews to, one of my nephews to come over here and help me do some weeding. Stop eating those, Punky. I gotta turn those under. Silly girl, you act like you don't get fed. You get egg. I make you eggs. You get farm fresh eggs. You don't even get store-bought eggs. I will do a much better job turning this under in a second. But so I'm gonna go ahead. I've fertilized this bed. Look, you can see there's some nice black dirt underneath there. Came with this little like bamboo-ish kind of stick. I think I'm gonna hold that for a minute, but in there until I get us something ordered to let it grow up on. But I'm just gonna go ahead and pop that out. Super simple. I'll leave that there for now. I mean, I know what it is, but all right. And there you have it, friends. It was that easy to get that in the ground. Now, the difficult part is to keep it alive, right? To keep it growing. So I'm just gonna put some water on it, and then obviously, you know, we'll keep it going and keep checking on it since it's a new baby for us. So hopefully it's gonna do really well. I'm really excited. I love my berries. And right here in the middle is where I'm gonna start laying in those pineapples. I've got an open spot down there at the end of the bed, and so I'm gonna put probably at least 2 pineapples down there. I'll fill in this area with some pineapples, and then I'll let this space be dedicated to our new sherbet berry. So I'm really excited for this plant. I have also been, just in case I haven't shared this with you guys, my fiance had done a little bit of cleaning up, which was nice for him to do for us, but he ended up whacking one of the beauty berries, a big chunk of it out that had a bunch of like berries on it that I was gonna make jelly with. And so I ended up, what I'm doing is now I don't have enough berries to make beauty berry jelly. So I've got a few. What you can do, just in case that happens to you, I want you all to know that you can actually freeze those berries, wash them off, lay them on a cookie sheet, and then you can just freeze them, take them off that cookie sheet. I usually put a piece of parchment paper down. I stick them in you can put them in a zippy bag. I actually have them in a little container, and as they build up, you can get enough to make beauty berry jelly. I usually cut my jelly in half and my sugars, you guys know that. So when I get enough, I will probably make beauty berry jelly with you, but you have to be really cautious because beauty berries do have a toxin if they are not cooked properly. So I'm not really sure if I'm gonna make that with you guys or not, but you can always look up a recipe and just know that if you don't have enough, then that's what you can do with them. Store them up until you get enough to make your jelly. Over here, you guys can see on its own, I have a papaya that has come up. So That's the beauty about growing here in Florida, is a lot of times things will just come up on their own. I am still, yeah, I am not complaining. I am still picking blue butterfly pea flower. It's doing great. And then another papaya just shot up on its own over here. So we are in papaya heaven here. And there's nothing wrong with that because papayas are amazing. Let's go check out the banana real quick. I just want to see it while I'm out here outside this morning. Check on it, make sure my squirrels, you know, these bad little nasties didn't get into it. They are getting into my papayas over here. Here's the papayas over here. This is like little papaya forest. So, yeah, no, the bananas are looking great. So just every day I got to keep an eye on these beautiful bananas to make sure. Now the other ones are over there, over by the pool. And like I said, man, look at how much these bananas have shot up over here. So I'm so excited. There's another tree that we don't really often talk about, and I'm going to actually shoot this in a separate video. I am going to do it today, so you are going to see the same clothes, but we need to talk about the moringa. So y'all be looking forward to that video. All right, and here is the beauty berry. Look at it. You want these dark purple berries. You don't want them to look light like that. When you go to pick them, they need to be as dark as possible. I've already been out here picking this morning, but you can see I'm going to have a nice cluster. They run all the way up the plant. So it's just a matter of me coming out here and monitoring this plant and then continuing to pick. Like I said, I've still got berries down here and here. This plant likes some dapple light, some shade. It does fairly well, and it definitely is not going to do well in direct sunlight. You can see some more berries are over here, and there are the flowers. And so that's what you want to see, friends. You want to be able to utilize stuff that you're growing. And while jelly may not be for everyone, we don't really eat a lot of like carbs here, but like I said, sometimes you grow for other people. My parents and my nephews, they eat PB&J, they eat almond butter and jelly. You can do fairly well for yourself. Think about it. If a COVID situation happened, how would you guys survive? And that's kind of how I want you to start looking at stuff. Is, like I said, I watched that show and it was kind of freaky to think about what could happen. You can also make jelly out of your basil. This is holy basil. You can see that it's going to seed, but it's beautiful. This is very wide. It's kind of hard for y'all to really realize how wide this is. We are definitely easily like 2 arm lengths full of holy basil. You can make holy basil like ointments and creams. It's healing. I do a lot of teas with this, and yes, I do like for it to go to seed, because I take these seeds and I spread them out throughout my yard. They can just, if we couldn't cut the grass or something, they just pop up all over, and I don't mind that. So it's just a little bit of a blessing plant to be able to have here, and so it's just absolutely gorgeous and lovely. All right, friends, so I'm gonna head up to the front yard and we're actually gonna shoot another video. So come back soon, because I love having you guys. I love having you be a part of this channel, and I cannot wait to see you guys in my next video. Remember, love one another and be kind.